Yes! Success!
About time. How's it going?
It's going great. So let's restart for the sake of जो मैंने ये वीडियो बाद में YouTube पे डालनी है. So guys, Khurram Jamali is the CEO of Digital Pakistan Foundation, and he was previously the head of partnerships at the payments for next billion users at Google. मैं ज़्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जाता. Khurram, I'd like for you to sort of tell the world, okay, what are you doing?
Sure. Just let me plug in the charger to this new phone because my phone wasn't working. Are you using an iPhone by any chance?
Yes.
Okay, so I've switched from Android to iPhone. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Anyways, Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Khurram Jamali. Guilty of being born and raised in Karachi. And then, I've been abroad for a pretty significant portion of my life. 2000 mein I went overseas, undergrad. Uske baad, I worked in consulting in the US for a few years. Undergrad was actually randomly in computer science, economics, and Chinese. And I came...
Really? You did an undergrad in Chinese? Can you speak Chinese?
Sorry?
Can you speak Chinese fluently, or can you sort of understand it?
No, I'm fluent. So
wow.
If you want me to say something, I can.
Chale?
Let me actually share one of my favorite Chinese proverbs. Which basically means that you only need like the focus of Kung Fu, and आप iron को भी एक needle के shape में mold कर सकते हैं.
Wow.
So anyway, so yeah, I ended up actually in China after that. I spent 5 years in China, helping bring Chinese companies to Pakistan to invest here, largely in the power sector. And then sort of got bored with investment banking, moved over to Singapore, did my MBA there, and then went into tech, sort of re-went into tech because I'd done that undergrad. And I was with Google from 2014 all the way till 2017, and I worked on the basically getting Pakistan set up at Google. I ran Pakistan for about 2 years, and then I left to work on a payment startup in Pakistan. वो मैंने कुछ 1 साल के लिए किया. उसके 2 हिस्से थे. One didn't work out. One is still ongoing under the name Udaan. I built an entire team for that. So Udaan is basically a committee's product that tries to digitize the ledger for जो savings committees होती हैं groups की.
So ये जो खवातीन जिस तरह करती हैं कि like इतने पैसे महीने के जाते रहेंगे और कमेटी होगी.
बिल्कुल जी, that's exactly it, Muzammil. What's interesting though is it's not just females as we think. It's pretty big in communities, like a mobile phone sellers brand की daily committee होती है.
Right.
Lots of different communities do it. तो वो set up कर दिया था, but as you rightly point out, it is largely a female driven business. So actually, kind of recruited a team that then co-founded and ran it that are females and are doing a fantastic job. Pre-COVID-19, अब आगे देखते हैं.
Right.
And at the same time, Google came back and basically asked me to work on this product called Google Pay and their real-time payment system strategy globally. So उसमें फिर I was at the UNGA, the World Bank annual meetings, working with the Bank of International Settlements, lots of different stakeholders to help them understand what is Google's vision for real-time payment systems in the future. So उस पे कुछ 1 साल मैं काम कर रहा था and was loving it actually, but then I've been in very regular touch with Tanya, known Tanya since 2006. And when she sort of came and she started working on Digital Pakistan, and she told me that she needed me and that there was no way I was going to do anything else. So I just recently quit. I'm now in Islamabad. And obviously the first port of call has been this whole COVID-19 fiasco, I would say, because it's just out of the blue and taking the world by storm. So we're just trying to figure out if you talk about Digital Pakistan Foundation broadly.
Okay, so I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
उससे थोड़ा सा पहले, just before that, थोड़ा सा अपना कैमरा अगर आप थोड़ा सा नीचे कर लें, because वो कुछ मुझे comments आए हैं जिसमें लोग कह रहे हैं कि Uh, yes, so that's perfect. Acha, so the first thing I think okay, for the audience to understand as well कि क्योंकि Digital Pakistan है and then Digital Pakistan Foundation है, so if you can sort of explain कि क्या structure है Digital Pakistan Foundation का and what is it all doing primarily?
Sure thing. So, sorry, I've got a bit of an allergic cough. I'm fine otherwise, but pardon me, I'll be drinking some water throughout. So, Muzammil, if you look at how other countries have solved the problem of digitization, there are 2-3 outliers who've done really, really well. Estonia, India more recently, Bangladesh more recently as well. What they figured out is that in the government, you need a small setup that truly understands digital. And then you actually build something outside government that has the ability to recruit top tier talent and actually build both not just the strategy but also the technology that needs to be deployed by the government. So इंडिया का आप अगर एग्जांपल देखें तो उसमें इंडियन गवर्नमेंट में एक साहब है नंदन निलेकानी जिन्होंने इन्फोसिस फाउंड की थी मल्टी बिलियन डॉलर कंपनी वो छोड़ के उन्होंने आके ही बिकेम मिनिस्टर एट लार्ज और उन्होंने एक प्राइवेट सेक्टर एनजीओ क्रिएट की कॉल्ड आई स्पिरिट एंड देन आई स्पिरिट बिकेम द व्हीकल जिसमें जो भी कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहता है to nation building on the tech side, they could actually contribute. There are lots of different people who are not very comfortable working in government. There are all sorts of limitations. But then through this structure, they can either volunteer or full-time contribute to the tech side of nation building. So we're creating a very similar structure. So Digital Pakistan sits within the PMO, which then Tanya heads out, and she's got a small team there which actually work on the bureaucratic side of things. How do you actually move policy through? How do you figure out किन stakeholders को align करना है, etc. And then Digital Pakistan Foundation, which has just recently been incorporated, sits outside. We don't want to actually use the money of the government because we know that हमारी government के पास इतना पैसा नहीं है. So we're actually fundraising through private sector grants for the Digital Pakistan Foundation to be able to get quality talent back into Pakistan या फिर domestic quality talent to work together to actually then deliver solutions.
Right. So if I can understand this, आप कर ये रहे हैं कि डिजिटल पाकिस्तान ज़्यादा पॉलिसी फ्रंट के ऊपर है और ज़्यादा होलिस्टिक डिसीजंस ले रहा है कि जी हमने डायरेक्शन क्या बनानी है. एंड डिजिटल पाकिस्तान फाउंडेशन इज सॉर्ट ऑफ जो बेसिकली उन डिसीजंस को सॉर्ट ऑफ इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहा है इन द टेक्नोलॉजी साइड ऑफ थिंग्स. Is that how it is?
That's about right. And then the intellectual property is actually passed on to the government. I think the other thing that's important to sort of clarify is कि हमारा जो vision है for Digital Pakistan, that's not about crowding out private sector. We don't want to build stuff जो फिर the private sector could actually build. We want to actually empower and enable the private sector. So APIs is a buzzword that you may have heard. I think that's really the way that we think about it. Okay, how do we build things and give access so that people can actually build products on top of that?
Right. So products जो है वो private sector ही बनाएगा. आप basically government point of view से वो जो so effectively आप government और private sector के दरमियान एक वो bridge बन गए हैं that can understand, that has the sort of expertise of the private sector, has the sort of connect to the government and sort of translate कर सकते हैं वो पूरी चीज दरमियान में.
बिल्कुल. That's really cool. मैं आपको अगर एक एस्टोनिया का इसमें एग्जांपल दूं, एस्टोनिया late 90s early 2000s की बात है. They were very worried कि actually they might be invaded by Russia, and so they wanted to build this digital system which would allow government to actually run even if they were decentralized. So they उस वक्त उन्होंने उस पे काम शुरू किया. तो उसका एक simple principle था कि अगर आपने कोई भी information किसी digital government register में एक दफा enter कर दी, you should never have to enter it again. That flows seamlessly through the entire system. And to me, that is the gold standard. अगर हम ऐसा कोई systems को ऐसे interconnect कर सकते हैं, I think we're going to have made life a lot easier for the people of Pakistan.
That's pretty cool. And मुझे काफी, मैंने भी सवाल डाले थे थोड़ी देर पहले, तो मुझे काफी सवाल ही इसी के अराउंड आए, e-governance and कि हम किस तरह से गवर्नमेंट सिस्टम को किस तरह डिजिटाइज कर सकते हैं, वो जो फाइलें मूव होती हैं बड़े स्लोली वो चीज किस तरह से ऑप्टिमाइज हो सकती है, एफिशिएंट हो सकती है. बट आई थिंक दैट्स considering the time right now, I think that's a conversation for a later time. अभी मैं ज़्यादा जो डिस्कस करना चाहूँगा coronavirus and then COVID-19. Before getting into anything, how do you see that impacting Pakistan's economy in the short run and in the long run?
So Muzammil, I think it's still early days. It's very, very hard to see or say exactly what outcome we're going to have. But broadly speaking, there are 2 to 3 scenarios that one can look at. This is my personal sort of opinion based on what I've seen so far, right? Ek is
Right.
worst case scenario, okay? Which is this is going to be something like the Spanish flu, which by the way 1918 mein aaya tha, 2 pure saal it ravaged the world, and then after that the world started recovering, right? So that's one scenario. The other scenario is that the world manages to coordinate and
Right.
managed to get this lockdown right at the same
Right.
time, which means कि हम इस एक जो है wave उसको ride करें, and then we managed to slow it down, and it dissipates and it dies out. इसमें एक दो और भी options हैं कि vaccine आ जाएगी इंशाल्लाह. दूसरा option ये है कि जो बातें हो रही हैं कि गर्मी की वजह से we might actually see it die out as well. So one of these things happens. So we see a sort of a hit over the next 2 to 3 months, and then it dies out.
Right.
And the third scenario is that this is sort of like a wave that we're going to be riding for a while. कि हमें lockdown करना होगा ताकि control करें. इसकी जो key चीज़ है ना मुज़ामिल, that is कि हमें healthcare capacity को जो है उसके मुताबिक हमें lockdown करना है इस मुल्क में. Out of the math in this is really simple. 100 लोग अगर infect होते हैं उसमें से 15 may need hospitalization, 5 may need ventilators. One की life will be very hard to save, but अगले जो 3-4 हैं उनकी life save हो सकती है. So
Right.
what's really important from that perspective that we provide enough lockdown. Say what we do is your infections and we're spreading them over time, and so we provide enough of a chance for our healthcare sector to be ready for it. So that's, I think, very, very key. Now, in terms of जो उसके outcomes होंगे, look, what's already very clear, Muzammil, is that the digital sector is one of the key ones.
एक चीज मैं sorry आपको मैं काट रहा हूँ, काफी सारे comments आ रहे हैं. A lot of people are saying कि जो heat killing the virus है ये it's a hoax. तो उसके ऊपर मैं थोड़ा सा दरमियान में वो add कर दूँ कि Khurram didn't mean कि the summer is gonna kill the virus, but rather जब season change होता है तो summer does break the pattern of the spread of the virus. Flu के साथ भी यही होता है. So जब summer में वो slow down थोड़ा definitely होगा based on how we sort of हमारी जो मोबिलिटी जिस तरह चेंज होती है. बट ऑब्वियसली अगर कोई वैक्सीन नहीं आती तो वो जब नॉर्दर्न विंटर फिर से आएगा बाय अक्टूबर तो वी विल हैव अ चांस ऑफ द वायरस हिटिंग अस अगेन. सो डिस्क्लेमर, वी आर नॉट सेइंग कि द वायरस इज गोना डाई आउट बाय हाई टेम्परेचर. What we're saying is कि summer season में we're gonna see a different pattern in terms of how the virus grows, hopefully. But yeah, sorry. Yes.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And Muzammil, just to add to that, we don't know what's going to happen in the summer, right? There are viruses that have died out in the summer. So it's not about, we just don't know. And there is hope. Same with the vaccine, right?
Absolutely, right.
We're going to come up with a vaccine. But who knows? Only God knows what's actually going to happen in the next few months. Right. But so what I was saying, Muzammil, is what's very clear is that there is a role for digital to play in all of this. What do I mean by that? देखें अभी आपने पता नहीं how many of the viewers here know कि like money, like paper money, is a carrier. It's a way for the virus to spread, right?
Right.
इसको देखते हुए, a fantastic initiative that Raza Bakir, the governor of State Bank, took pretty much immediately was that he made all digital transfers free, right? का मतलब मैं वाजे कर दूं, इसका मतलब सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि आप बैंक अकाउंट टू बैंक अकाउंट फ्री है. इसका मतलब ये भी है बैंक अकाउंट टू इजी पैसा फ्री है, इजी पैसा टू जैज कैश फ्री है, जैज कैश टू बैंक अकाउंट free. So it's truly free, right? And this is something, I mean, this is a fantastic opportunity for us to actually move towards the digital side, and it's because of the virus. There's a really funny meme going around about like what led to the digitization of my company: CEO, CTO, COVID-19, right? And it's really, it's true, right? This is something which would, I mean, in a normal situation, it would have been very, very hard for the state bank to actually do because of pressures from all sorts of different stakeholders, right? But now, now, it actually makes complete sense because it's a way to actually protect against it. So this is something that runs across a lot of different areas. Now, अगर मैं आपसे आपको मैंने जो 3 scenarios लिए, तीनों scenarios में, income is something that's going to be impacted. And the question is, how do people जिनकी income impacted है come about with ways to actually make money? And इसमें मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि it's not just that you have to set up a full-fledged e-commerce website and do everything end to end. Actually, there are very interesting models जो एशिया से ही निकले हैं जो काफी इस्तेमाल होते हैं. इसका एक जो term है just very important is social commerce, and this is something that started really taking off from Thailand, but now is very very common in all of East Asia. उसका मतलब simply ये है कि आप जो आपके existing platforms है, Instagram है, Facebook है, YouTube है, उस पे you actually make videos, go live like we're going live right now, and share what you have to offer. Now that could be anything. It could be a mochi making a Peshawari chappal. It could be someone who makes halim. My wife in these times is actually doing some phenomenal cooking, right? So I'm not with my family right now because I'm here in Islamabad. So मुझे तो काफी होता है कि किसी तरह से order करूं. But whatever thing you have to offer, you can actually, through the social media side, show people what you have to offer. That's one part of like the three pieces that together provide you an ability to actually make money online. ठीक है, ये तो एक हो गया to get the audience to be aware of what you have to offer. And I'm not talking about advertising. I'm just talking about creating basic content. दूसरा है फिर how do you actually get it to the person? So logistics. अब उसमें दोनों जो आपके traditional TCS type players हैं वो भी आते हैं, but also the bikers and the Kareems and the Cheetah of the world to actually get things from point A to point B. अब उसमें frankly right now in the COVID-19 world, there's a lot of talk of what's going to be on the list of necessary workers you need at a time like this. My personal opinion is that actually logistics and supply chain logistics in particular is very, very important for that. So the hope is that this is something that's resolved by the government. Ye ho gaya dusra sort of pillar. And the third pillar is what we already talked about, digital payments. Ab agar aap content bana sakte hain which you can show what you have to offer, you can find a way for that stuff if it's physical, not digital, to move from point A to point B, and you can actually take digital payment for it. You have an entire sort of structured closed loop which allows you to use digital.
जो सबसे बड़ा हमें प्रॉब्लम इस वक्त आ रहा है कि business lockdown हुआ है जिसकी वजह से you cannot physically go to let's say Blue Area or Sadr or wherever Liberty Market and procure that product. वो आप घर बैठ के you can just place it online anywhere. आप उसी वक्त digital पे payment करें और वो फिर someone basically picks it up from point A and delivers it to you. That's the three, right?
Yeah. So my view on this, Muzammil, is कि देखें जो मैंने आपको तीन scenarios दिए, एक तो long term pessimistic scenario या फिर एक जो waves का scenario है, उन दोनों में this is something that is an opportunity that I think a lot of people will start using. Obviously, in the short term scenario, we manage to overcome this very quickly. We'll still have that opportunity to like really get digital payments going. And then there are even Digital Pakistan Foundation and Digital Pakistan together want to work on a more holistic direction of digitization, inshallah, which will go do either way.
Right, got it. अच्छा, so अगर हम इस चीज की बात करें कि इस पॉइंट के ऊपर जब हम कह रहे हैं और इसके ऊपर मुझे काफी सवालात भी आए लोगों के, क्योंकि एक तरफ तो we have the lockdown और उस लॉकडाउन के अंदर हमने ये भी देखा कि like services like Food Panda और Daraz और इस तरह की सर्विसेज के राइडर्स भी नहीं बाहर जा पा रहे थे. And I understand कि lockdown is necessary, but then again हमने खुद ही identify किया कि ये अगर services चल जाएं तो ये बड़ा useful होगा. At this point in time, अगर if you can sort of give me some idea on के what's Digital Pakistan doing in streamlining के आगे आने वाले दिनों में अगर हम कहते हैं for example कि जिस तरह पंजाब गवर्नमेंट का सुनने में आ रहा है कि they might extend the lockdown for another 28 days, what can the government do for example to facilitate के बजाय से कि लोग घरों से बाहर निकलें, लोग घरों में बैठकर वो बिजनेस का पहिया चलता रहे?
मुज़म्मिल, इसके दो बहुत ज़रूरी हिस्से हैं. आई थिंक लॉजिस्टिक्स की तो हमने बात कर ली है. आई थिंक दिस इज़ वेरी वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट. उसके अलावा फ्रॉम माय पर्सपेक्टिव आई थिंक एक्चुअली the cost of broadband is another area that one can really explore. And I think आजकल में PTA का एक directive भी इस पे आया था कि for students companies need to come up with like an educational bundle. So I think the government is trying to think of different ways to make this happen. I think the fundamental first thing that we need to figure out is essential workers list क्या है और उसमें क्या-क्या different चीजें आती हैं. इस वक्त वो provincial level पे I think अलग-अलग provinces are doing their own thing, which by the way I'm actually incredibly proud of the reaction of different provinces. They've really, I thought they've done a pretty tremendous job, and inshallah आगे भी करेंगे. But I think वो एक coordinated analysis करना बड़ा ज़रूरी है कि कौन सी industries जो हैं need to be actually activated right now, especially अगर ये short term से medium term में लॉकडाउन चला जाता है, या फिर the wave motion that we were talking about earlier, कि lockdown no lockdown, so that we can keep it at a level that हमारी healthcare capacity कर सकती है. Or in those two scenarios, I think the logistics part, two sides. One is the supply chain logistics.
Okay.
Give me
Yes.
1 second.
No
I'm
back.
using someone else's phone and it's got my time limit is hitting. 1 second.
I think call आ गया उनको. चलें जब तक you guys send me, क्योंकि मैं दरमियान में पढ़ नहीं रहा था. If you can. हाँ, वो वैसे मैं चाह रहा था कि हम क्वेश्चन सारे आखिर में लें. But anyways, I'm just gonna go through the comments अभी तक जो आए हैं.
Sorry about that, guys. My friend whose phone I'm using has a limit on how much time he can use Instagram. So now I know his passcode.
So it automatically closes down after you use Instagram for a particular amount of time?
Apparently so.
Wow, interesting. Achha.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so basically you were expecting, हाँ जी. Okay.
Didn't have to have that. So again, I was saying logistics is a very important piece for that. ठीक है, वो I think करना बड़ा लाजमी है. दूसरी चीज, ये जो the information flow piece that I was talking about of data is incredibly important. We need to figure out ways के जैसे नादरा है या FBR है या banks हैं, इनकी KYC को आप कैसे fully digitize करें, so that there are all these other pressures on our country. FATF है.
Right, so for the sake of the audience, KYC is know your customer. तो ये एक requirement होती है जिसमें आपको जाकर अपने customer के बारे में बहुत सारा data निकाल कर extract करना पड़ता है, और उस data की basis के ऊपर फिर आप define करते हैं किसको आप potential customer बना सकते हैं या नहीं बना सकते. और इसकी requirements जो है वो unfortunately पाकिस्तान की नहीं है, but rather वो बहुत सारे different इदारों की होती हैं, जो कि खुर्रम explain कर रहे थे.
जी बिल्कुल, थैंक यू मुजम्मिल. तो बाकी ममालिक के साथ भी जो हमारी ट्रीटीज़ हैं, उसके बेसिस पे भी हमें थोड़े मिनिमल लेवल्स जो हैं फॉलो करने हैं. सो आई थिंक ये काफ़ी एक इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट टू डू इट प्रॉपरली, एंड इंशाल्लाह उम्मीद है कि we are in bad times, no doubt about it. COVID-19 has really put a lot of strain on all of us, but we should use this opportunity to figure out how to quickly digitize the systems. मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल इसमें मुज़म्मिल देना चाहता हूँ. ठीक है, मैं 2008 से 2012 तक चाइना में रह रहा था, और 2012 में जब मैंने चाइना छोड़ा है ना, उस वक्त सब कुछ कैश था, राइट. मैं आपको, और उनका सबसे बड़ा जो नोट है ना, वो 100 युआन का नोट होता था, which is like less like 800 rupees or something. और एंड कॉस्ट ऑफ लिविंग वहाँ हायर थी. तो अगर जब आपको रेंट पे करना होता था ना, तो आप एक इतनी बड़ी गड्डी 100 युआन के नोटों के लेके जाके, फिर वो सबके पास मशीनें होती थी जिससे वो नोट गिनते थे, राइट.
अच्छा.
मैं उसके बाद दिस इज द टाइम जब वीचैट और अली पे शुरू हो रहे थे, एंड मैं जब 2012 के एंड में वहां से छोड़ा है तो शुरू नहीं हुए थे, जबकि एज इन कहीं कहीं आवाज आ रही थी, लेकिन दे weren't really जनरेट. बाय 2013 एंड हर चीज अली पे और वीचैट पे थी. और मैं कुछ साल बाद अपनी फैमिली के साथ बोथ माय डॉटर्स वर बोर्न देयर, तो मैं उन्हें वापस ले गया था टू शो देम ऑल द एरियाज जहां हम रहते थे. 5 साल रहे थे. एंड मुझे इट वाज हार्ड टू कैच अ कैब, बिकॉज इवन कैब्स की जो पेमेंट है वो आप वॉलेट के थ्रू करते थे, कोई कैश लेने के लिए तैयार नहीं था. एंड एज अ फॉरेनर टू प्लग इनटू दैट सिस्टम वाज वेरी हार्ड, because उन्होंने they had these requirements के पीछे बैंक अकाउंट होना लाजमी, etc. So in fact they moved completely to a digital economy. आपको उसका मैं मतलब हद बताऊं कि जो जो beggars हैं वो begging bowl पे उनको QR code की तस्वीर लगी हुई होती थी, because they knew that no one's carrying cash. अगर
And this
उन्हें
all
देने भी हैं
happened in
तो
like 12 to 18 months, you're saying?
12 to 18 months, everything moved, right? And fine, China moves a lot quicker than most people. हमने इसमें COVID-19 के response में भी ये देख लिया. They have an ability to coordinate better than most countries. But
Right.
what I am trying to say is कि पाकिस्तान में जर्नी शुरू हो चुका है. The likes of Jazz Cash, Easy Paisa, SimSim, PhonePe, there are many other companies. इन्होंने शुरू तो कर दिए. The details are what we need to work out. ठीक है, अब मैं आपको उसके details क्या हैं आपको मैं एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ. इंडिया में जो है ये जर्नी भी जो है 12 से 18 महीने में फुल डिजिटाइजेशन ऑफ पेमेंट्स हुई. क्यों? उन्होंने एक सिंपल चीज की. उन्होंने दे बिल्ड समथिंग नोन एज अ नेशनल एड्रेसिंग डेटाबेस. इसका क्या मतलब है कि इंस्टेड ऑफ अगर मुझे आपको पैसे भेजने हैं, इंस्टेड ऑफ नीडिंग बेसिकली योर बैंक अकाउंट, as long as I had your virtual private address, which could also be your mobile phone number, I could actually transfer money based on that. And आपके back end पे जो भी हो, चाहे वो Easy Paisa हो, Jazz हो, bank account हो, you've decided that, and it goes and hits that account.
Right.
So it basically simplifies that process, and that's something Pakistan has to do soon.
अच्छा, yes, this is very interesting. मेरा अगला सवाल ही यही आने वाला था कि हम बात तो करते हैं, हम कहते हैं यार ठीक है, Easy Paisa exists and Jazz Cash exists, and we keep on creating these services one on top of the other, but the fact is कि हमारी जो working class है उसने कभी बैंक अकाउंट का सुना नहीं है, उनका कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं है बैंक अकाउंट का. उनको जब हम कहते हैं कि जी वो डिजिटल पे आ जाए, ऑब्वियसली सामने हम कुछ भी लाएंगे पीछे तो एक बैंक अकाउंट होगा ना. तो जब वो बैंकिंग सिस्टम में ही नहीं है तो हाउ डू यू गेट देम ऑन बोर्ड? एंड व्हाट यू आर इफेक्टिवली सेइंग इज कि यू डोंट रियली एसेंशियली नीड अ बैंक अकाउंट और अ बैंक अकाउंट नंबर, as long as you can take, let's say, the Nadra CNIC number and just keep that as a front, as an address to receiving payments, and then उसके पीछे आपने जो डाले. Is that what you're saying?
देखिए, Nadra CNIC तो it's a bit of, I don't know if that's something everyone wants their CNIC floating around, but the mobile number can certainly be it, right? Because the mobile number is linked to a CNIC. So we know who has that mobile number, and उसके basis पे फिर आप define कर दें कि उस mobile number पे कोई भी अगर पैसे भेजेगा जहाँ से भी, बैक एंड पे आप कौन से अकाउंट को हिट करना चाहते हैं, चाहे वो बैंक अकाउंट हो, चाहे वो जैज़ कैश हो, इजी पैसा, फोन पे हो, सिम हो, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, करीम पे हो फॉर दैट मैटर. तो ये इनफैक्ट दिस इज समथिंग दैट इज बीइंग अंडरटेकन. स्टेट बैंक इज बिल्डिंग समथिंग नोन एज अ माइक्रो पेमेंट्स गेटवे. ठीक है, ये दिस इज फंडेड बाय द बिल एंड मेलिंडा गेट्स फाउंडेशन वाया अ कंपनी यहाँ कॉल्ड करंदाज. तो इस पे काम जारी है. दिस इज वन ऑफ द एरियाज दैट दे आर वर्किंग ऑन. That what you need is true interoperability, right? And what you need is free of cost transfers. And till like a month ago, मतलब तसव्वुर नहीं कर सकते थे कि we are going to be seeing this. And here we are now. जो condition जो India by the way government ने push किया था ये कि नहीं, free और हर चीज interoperable होगी और हर चीज free of cost होगी. And उसके वजह से I think they saw like a 27x growth in 1 year. Of usage, just dramatic, right? But India did a lot of other things right too. They had a full drive of bank accounts उससे पहले. तो एक साल में या 2 साल में they went from about 20% bank to 80% bank, because government के पीछे पड़ी. तो ये government को भी initiatives करने बड़े जरूरी हैं, but you have to do the right initiatives and you have to give the right incentives to the people. क्योंकि देखें at the end of the day, मैं आपको बताऊं, ईस्ट और वेस्ट का मैं आपको फंडामेंटल फर्क बताता हूँ इन स्टार्टअप्स एंड द थिंकिंग. ठीक है, इन द वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड एक इंसान 5 मिनट बचाने के लिए $1 खर्च करने के लिए तैयार होता है. इन द ईस्टर्न वर्ल्ड इंसान $1 बचाने के लिए 50 मिनट खर्च करने को तैयार होता है. राइट, दैट इज द डाइकोटमी. एंड दैट मींस दैट जो वेस्ट के मॉडल्स हैं वो ईस्ट में इतने सिंपली अप्लाई नहीं होते. यू हैव टू एक्चुअली at least make it on par, because they're that price sensitive and very price elastic. All of us are. I mean, जो भी आप level देख लें top to bottom सब price sensitive हैं.
Right. Got it. अच्छा, मुझे ये बताएं कि a lot of people have this question, and I know कि ये थोड़ा सा ना, मैं जो holistic picture है उससे मैं थोड़ा एकदम से granular पे आ जाऊंगा. I want you, if you're able to explain in a very simple way कि जी आम नौजवान जो इस वक्त देख रहा है, बहुत सारे लोग lay off हो रहे हैं, we heard recently कि trucking laid off a few people, Netso laid off a few people, उसको आने वाले दिनों में आपको क्या लगता है कि किस किस्म की अपॉर्चुनिटीज खुलेंगी डिजिटल के अराउंड? और उसको इस वक्त अगर फॉर एग्जांपल वो, चलो मैं कहता हूँ यार मे बी वो अपॉर्चुनिटी की बात ना भी करे कि ये अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं, गो अप्लाई हियर, बट एट द वेरी लीस्ट अगर उसने अपने आप को अपस्किल करना है, तो where would you suggest कि भाई इस तरफ अपने आप को अपस्किल करो, this is where the opportunity is going to open up in the next few months?
Great question. And if I had the perfect answer for that, I would be a millionaire. But I think, देखें मुज़म्मिल, I think important चीज़ ये है कि you have to constantly be upskilling yourself. ठीक है, मैं एक when I went to my MBA, and we were applying for jobs and everything, for the summer internship मैंने कुछ 50 जॉबों में अप्लाई किया था, एक का भी फर्स्ट राउंड इंटरव्यू नहीं आया. और I had other classmates जो कहने लगे कि यार मसला तुम्हारा पासपोर्ट है, it's because you're पाकिस्तानी इसलिए ये नहीं हो रहा है. And my whole thing is कि देखें excuses आपको 1000 मिल जाएंगी अगर आपको excuse बनानी है किसी भी चीज़ की. The question is what can you do differently, and really analyze के ठीक है अगर आप क्या कर सकते हैं अपने chances को बेहतर करने के लिए. And in the example that I'm giving, मेरा focus फिर ये हुआ कि I really built like a process flow के मुझे नेटवर्किंग कैसे करनी है, मुझे पढ़ना क्या है, मुझे सीवी को कैसे कस्टमाइज करना है हर एप्लीकेशन के लिए. So the minute you start taking responsibility, that is step one. ठीक है, तो पहली चीज ये है कि आप जो मैं सब यंगस्टर्स को कहूँगा कि जो एक्सक्यूजेस है कि यार कोविड-19 की वजह से हो गया या मुझे सही से अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिली, इन सबको आप प्लीज छोड़ दें कि don't blame other things, figure out आप क्या कर सकते हैं. Second thing, upskilling, right? There are इस वक्त a multitude of videos available online to develop the right skill based on what you care about. इसमें online selling एक simple चीज़ है, online advertising है, फिर coding itself है, फिर अगर आप you feel कि आप mathematically बहुत ही inclined है तो machine learning है, analytics है. These are fields जो पूरी दुनिया में इसकी shortage है इस वक्त, especially with COVID-19, इससे पहले भी. तो and the beauty of it is because of what's happened with COVID-19, इस वक्त pretty much every platform I know उस पे free of cost ये trainings इस वक्त मौजूद हैं. You just have to look around and then you have to commit कि आप बैठेंगे. अभी जो भी घर पे बैठा हुआ पूरे दिन सिर्फ Netflix देख रहा है, I mean they're wasting an opportunity, right? And that's not to say Netflix नहीं देखना चाहिए. By the way, Tiger King is really really funny. But outside that, it's really important कि आप अपने time को अच्छी तरह utilize करें. आप 3-4 घंटे तो लगाएं दिन में to try to develop a skill.
And specifically when we're seeing कि businesses का model ही बदलने वाले आने वाले दिनों में, and we're going to be seeing a lot of businesses going online, तो उन businesses को scale करने के लिए बहुत सारा talent चाहिए होगा जो कि digital marketing कर रहा होगा, जो कि order management, even logistics में कितनी opportunities खुलेंगी. So उसके लिए definitely.
Absolutely, you have to be nimble, right? कि एक willingness होनी चाहिए to try different things. Logistics side पे I think immediate काफी need होगी across the chain, मतलब motorbike से लेके cars and vans तक. फिर if you can become part of the supply chain and digitize that, that's a massive opportunity. इस वक्त के देखें जो हम अभी तो consumer की बात करें, लेकिन if you talk about the suppliers to where you buy from, that is a very broken process जी, क्योंकि एक supplier अगर वो 50 जगह जाके deliver करता है, 50 जगह से cash उठाता है, तो 50 जगह उससे पहले तो चोरी का डर होता है, फिर actually bringing it together, counting, that's another great opportunity if you can play a role in actually digitizing that. So and then basically actually plugging the gaps, right? That's right. Actually also, by the way, Digital Pakistan Foundation's vision. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. हम समझना चाहते हैं कि gaps कहाँ हैं, failures कहाँ हैं, and उसमें help करें. COVID-19 के response में भी हमारा role यही रहा है कि gaps identify करें और फिर उन्हें fix करें. You have to in the next few months do the same. Be nimble, identify करें कहाँ opportunities हैं market में, and then develop your skills over time to actually plug those gaps.
और ये आपने बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बात की कि मतलब अभी तो इस वक्त फॉर यंग इंडिविजुअल जो कि प्रॉब्ली कॉलेज से ग्रेजुएट किया है, उसके पास इस वक्त ये भी अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि अगर वो अपनी लोकल करियाने की दुकान वाला जो कि हु इज नॉट वेरी डिजिटली उस तरह से ना लिटरेट, वो अगर उसको और जो कंज्यूमर उसके नेबरहुड में बैठा हुआ है उसको कनेक्ट कर दे, तो इफेक्टिवली वो आके देयर इज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी राइट देयर बिकॉज़ नोबडी इज गोइंग आउट। आई मीन अगर मुझे ग्रोसरी चाहिए, मुझे फॉर द लॉन्गेस्ट टाइम पता नहीं लग रहा था मैं किस तरह से जाके कर सकता हूँ। एंड इफ समवन कुड ऑनेस्टली जस्ट रिंग द बेल कि जी ये नंबर है, आप व्हाट्सएप पे मुझे जो भी चाहिए बता दीजिएगा एंड आई विल फिगर इट आउट फॉर यू। तो वो दरमियान में एक opportunity, it's as simple as that right now in terms of digital.
बिल्कुल जी, बिल्कुल। Find the market failures, plug the gaps.
Absolutely. So we're gonna take a few questions, but before that, एक सवाल इधर भी आया हुआ था ना. I know that you guys are doing some really cool work in terms of healthcare as well. थोड़ा सा आप मुझे बताएंगे कि डिजिटल पाकिस्तान ने recently and क्या किया है healthcare में, and overall healthcare को जब हम digitization की बात करते हैं तो what are the opportunities looking like?
जी देखें, इसमें दो तीन चीज़ें हैं. When we actually started helping out the government on the COVID-19 response, दो sort of broad buckets हैं जो important हैं. एक है data flow की. We want to make sure कि live data flows to the government, federal and provincial, ताकि वो अच्छे decisions at any given point ले सकें. It's a very tough beast to fight. Without data, it's even harder. So that is an ongoing मुहिम. दूसरी चीज़ है communication with the masses. How do we make sure कि जो messages जाने हैं to people वो वहाँ तक पहुँच जाएं. उस सिलसिले में there's also for the general public, and then there's also for the suspected cases or potential cases यार जिसे डर है कि उन्हें कुछ शायद COVID-19 से एक्सपोजर हो चुका होगा. तो इस सिलसिले में कम्युनिकेशन साइड पे हमने दो तीन चीज़ें इमीडिएटली की. एक तो आई एम गेसिंग आप सब ने जो यहाँ जो जब आप किसी को कॉल करते हैं तो रिंगटोन की जगह जो मैसेज है वो सुना होगा. दैट समथिंग वी रिक्वेस्टेड द पीटीए टू डू एंड द पीटीए एग्रीड. इंशाल्लाह अब उसका यही प्लान है कि अब उस मैसेज को अपडेट होने का टाइम आ गया है. सो दैट वाज वन थिंग, ताकि लोगों को फौरन पता चल जाए कि जी समथिंग इज डिफरेंट. दूसरा, वी वर्कड विद डिफरेंट स्टेक होल्डर्स टू क्रिएट लाइव एड्स जो फिर टीवी पे भी चले टू इन्फॉर्म. एंड फ्रैंकली इस पे तो सब पूरे इकोसिस्टम ने साथ दिया. मुजम्मिल, आई थिंक आप भी काफ़ी इन्वॉल्व थे इन गेटिंग द मैसेज आउट कि खांसना कैसे है, हाथ 20 सेकंड तक धोने हैं, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. अच्छा, फिर आ गया रिस्पॉन्सिव, जो स्पेसिफिक चीज़ों के जवाब आप ढूंढ रहे हैं उनको हम कैसे सपोर्ट करें. उस पर हमने फेसबुक चैटबॉट लॉन्च किया जी. फेसबुक पे पहले हम इसलिए गए फेसबुक पैसेंजर पे क्योंकि दैट इज एक्चुअली जीरो रेटेड, यानी कि डेटा इस्तेमाल नहीं करता अक्रॉस पाकिस्तान, अक्रॉस टेलकोस. तो हमने कहा मैसेज के लिए वो अच्छा होगा. उस पर कुछ 1 लाख आई थिंक यूजर्स तो अब आ गए थे. फिर हमने कहा कि अच्छा और कहाँ हैं यूजर्स, व्हाट्सएप पे हैं. व्हाट्सएप पे भी हमने चैटबॉट लॉन्च किया. उस पर लिटरली पहले 36 घंटे में 1.5 लाख यूजर्स ने कुछ 2.5 मिलियन मैसेजेस एक्सचेंज किए, यानी कि हर यूजर ऑन एवरेज 15 मैसेजेस भेज रहा था. सो देयर वाज सम वैल्यू इन इट. उसमें हमने वी वेंट वन स्टेप फर्दर कि हमने कहा कि सिर्फ इंग्लिश और उर्दू नहीं होना चाहिए, और भी ज़बानें हैं. तो पंजाबी, बलोची, कश्मीरी, सिंधी, पश्तो इन एडिशन टू इंग्लिश और उर्दू लॉन्च की. और फ्रैंकली हम और भी ज़बानें जैसे सराइकी लॉन्च करना चाह रहे थे, लेकिन थोड़े इंटरफेस में लिमिटेशंस थी. एंड व्हाट वी फाउंड इज के 20% जो सवालात जो पूछे जा रहे थे वो उन माइनॉरिटी लैंग्वेजेस में पूछे जा रहे थे, विच वी वर वेरी हैप्पी अबाउट. फिर तीसरी चीज़ है 1166 जो टेली हेल्थ सॉरी जो हेल्पलाइन है जो गवर्नमेंट प्रीवियसली. कैन यू हियर मी?
Yeah, I can hear you. So जो basically आपकी जो हेल्पलाइन है जहाँ पर कोई भी प्रॉब्लम होता है तो you just call 1166 and they'll sort of run you through क्या होगा.
उसमें there was unprecedented demand. वो इनिशियली बनी हुई पोलियो के लिए थी, उसको कोऑप्ट किया गया कोविड-19 के लिए. एंड जो सप्लाई डिमांड गैप था उसमें that was massive. तो अभी तक वी आर वर्किंग विद डिफरेंट स्टेक होल्डर्स टू उसको हमने पहले तो ऑगमेंट कर दिया था. नाउ वी आर वर्किंग ऑन द नेक्स्ट लेवल ऑफ ऑगमेंटेशन एग्जिस्टिंग वेंडर के थ्रू, नथिंग न्यू, बट जस्ट शो देम कि भाई इस वक्त डिमांड ये एक्सपेक्टेड है, तो आप अभी से फ्यूचर के लिए प्लान करें ताकि जो पाकिस्तानी जिससे कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए वो उसके थ्रू कर सके. और हम उस पर IVR जो होती है विच इज़ बेसिकली जो ऑटोमेटेड इंटरेक्शन है उस पर भी काफ़ी सारी इंफॉर्मेशन डालना चाह रहे हैं ताकि नॉट एवरीबडी हैज़ टू बी
हाँ, उसको रिप्रेजेंटेटिव तक पहुंचना ना पड़े, अगर उसको बेसिक सवाल आते हैं तो वो डायरेक्टली जाए उधर तक पहुंचे,
आपको मिल जाए।
ड्रॉप आउट।
जी 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 बिल्कुल। उस पर फिर बाकी स्टेक होल्डर्स ये भी काम करेंगे कि उस पर डॉक्टर्स लाए जाएं ताकि अगर आपको स्पेसिफिक मेडिकल रिस्पॉन्सेज चाहिए तो उसके लिए भी डॉक्टर्स हों। देन अब आगे क्या है, आगे व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू फिगर आउट इज हाउ टू बिल्ड अ टेलीहेल्थ। अच्छा सॉरी, एक और चीज़ हमने की, हमने जो एग्जिस्टिंग टेलीहेल्थ प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं उनको भी एक्टिवेट किया कि जी श्योर यू आर अ पेड प्लेटफॉर्म, इस वक्त मुल्क को आपकी सपोर्ट की ज़रूरत है। तो यू नो बीमा एंड सेहत कहानी स्टेप्ड अप इन द फर्स्ट राउंड एंड उन्होंने काफ़ी यू नो थाउजेंड्स ऑफ केसेस बिटवीन देम हैंडल किए हैं।
So this
और
is
अभी
really cool. Telehealth, because I know a lot of my audience is not aware of what it does. So थोड़ा सा आप explain करेंगे how does telehealth work and what exactly was this?
बिल्कुल जी, there are different models to this मुजामिल में, but one is just a simple call based model जिसमें आप you can call and then get some support. दूसरा is a more holistic model, app based है, आप एक profile बनाते हैं, then you're put in touch with a professional. This is Sehat Kahani's model actually, and Sehat Kahani, what I love about Sehat Kahani is that they have about कुछ 1000 से 1500 female doctors जो otherwise weren't working, but now through this platform they have the ability to actually use their skill set. So you get targeted guidance from a doctor who can then tell you कि जी आपको after doing a full video based consultation कि आपको अस्पताल जाना चाहिए या नहीं, या it's just sorry I'm gonna have some water.
Right. So जब तक ये पानी पीते हैं, interesting ये opportunity भी एक है, because I know that a lot of people who recent MBBS graduates, even मुझे अभी थोड़ी देर पहले एक मैसेज आया था, someone who was a doctor who said मैं free time में I want to build a skill जिससे मैं कुछ some form of passive income बना सकता हूँ. जो what Khurram just mentioned, potentially this is opportunities for doctors जो कि इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे साइन अप करके घर बैठ के वो जो है ना पेशेंट्स को कंसल्टेशन प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं एंड दे कैन रीच आउट टू लाइक, तो इससे दो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो रही हैं. तो ये कि बहुत सारी ऐसी पर्टिकुलरली खवातीन डॉक्टर्स हमारे पाकिस्तान में जो कि काम नहीं करती फॉर वन रीजन और दी अदर, क्योंकि वो घर से बाहर नहीं जा सकती, तो वो एक तो घर बैठ के काम कर सकती हैं, और दूसरा ये कि बहुत सारे ऐसे एरियाज में लोग हैं जिनको डॉक्टर की अवेलेबिलिटी इतनी करीब या तो अवेलेबल नहीं है या वो अफोर्डेबिलिटी का इशू है कि उनके करीब तरीन हॉस्पिटल बहुत महंगा है या वो रूरल में रहते हैं. So if they have internet access, they can actually directly connect to a doctor through this product. So this is one of the examples of how digital is going to innovate in the coming months, और वो ये problem solve करेगा.
Inshallah. बिल्कुल जी. So that's something that eventually अब हमारा ये भी plan है कि we build a platform जहाँ हम volunteer doctors को invite करें so that and that खुदा ना खास्ता if things get worse, this will become very very important मुझे, क्योंकि like I said की चीज़ ये है कि हमारी health care facilities पे overload नहीं होने देना है, क्योंकि the minute those get overloaded all sorts of other problems arise, and anything we can do to help keep the load at a sustainable level is something which will be useful, inshallah. So those are some of the things that we're working on roughly from the Digital Pakistan
Foundation point of view. Perfect. एक सवाल बहुत ज़्यादा आता है, continuously आता है, and I don't know if you have an answer to that, but if you do, it'd be great. PayPal in Pakistan, why is it not happening? Do we even need it? And what are your thoughts on that?
Look, I don't think PayPal is कोई एक silver bullet है जिससे सब पाकिस्तान की payments की problems resolve हो जाएंगी. और fundamentally जो मसला है ना जी PayPal का, वो earlier हमारी बात हो रही थी कि there are a lot of requirements from different countries for account transfers etc. That becomes really complex very quickly in Pakistan. तो उस सिलसिले में जो liabilities के issue हैं, I think those are some of the reasons why इस वक्त PayPal नहीं आ रहा. My view on this is, and look, I've been personally and professionally in touch with PayPal as well in the past. So it's not a case of, they're definitely not going to come. Maybe they will come, but I just don't think that's going to solve all your problems, right? What the thing that PayPal, people are hoping for PayPal to solve is कि आपके जो transfers हैं for the work that you're doing overseas वो आराम से हो जाएं, और local transfers के लिए तो I mean it's, you know, we have lots of solutions. There are solutions out there for it. Payoneer is doing some fantastic work on that front. Joe, I know a lot of different people that are doing work overseas online are actually using Payoneer. और भी इसमें solutions हैं. So I don't think we need PayPal specifically to solve the problems that people have. आ गया तो fantastic, नहीं आया तो भी the solutions are there. Just look for them.
Right. And agar particularly PayPal, because people love the brand so much, maybe जब तक FATF की probably हम grey list से नहीं हटते, जब तक हमारी वो चीजें sort नहीं होती, तो it is going to be increasingly difficult.
I think so.
Okay. So I think we have around 10-15 minutes left for this session. मैं थोड़ा सा questions देख लेता हूँ जो लोगों ने भेजे हुए हैं, and see if you can answer some of these. So your take on local tech communities like Google Developers Group and Facebook Developers Circle and their role in empowering communities?
Incredibly important. Some of the greatest people that I have met locally are very active members of GDG or Facebook Developer Communities. मैंने जब अपनी पहली स्टार्टअप की थी उड़ान के नाम से कराची में, जिसको मैंने briefly mention किया था, so one of the first thing I did was I actually looked up my developer group contacts. उसमें Eric Bhatti or Haris Solangi, two people who are incredibly active, were, you know, I very heavily recruited them to come and work with me on my startup. Why is that? देखिए जी, ये जो communities होती है ना, इसमें you find people who actually are passionate about driving change holistically. Yeah, it's not just about कि मैं इसमें से क्या निकाल सकूंगा या सकूंगी. It's about कि मैं लोगों के लिए क्या कर सकता हूँ या कर सकती हूँ. And so I think they have a very important role to play. GDG में in the past जब मैं Google में होता था तो जो Google I/O के repeat होते थे in Pakistan, I've spoken at those as well, and I find these to be very important to the growth, because ये sort of learning communities हैं, and they're really keen on helping each other out to learn more and grow together. मैं जो earlier बात कर रहा था मुज़म्मिल कि आपकी constant growth जो है बहुत ज़रूरी है. There is no end to learning. As I'm sure you're also, you know, आपके साथ भी you're learning and growing every day.
Absolutely.
So I strongly recommend कि in communities का not only हिस्सा बने, but volunteer your time to them. You know, try to help others with what you've learned, so you can not only learn but be a teacher.
Active part.
इसमें एक और चीज मैं मुज़म्मिल ऐड करता चलूं. One of the best ways to learn is to teach. तो आपको अगर opportunity मिलती है to teach others, think of that as a learning opportunity for yourself.
Got it. अच्छा, एक और सवाल ये आया है और ये काफी लोग कह रहे हैं कि they want to participate in Digital Pakistan Foundation. You know, they want to send in their ideas. You know, let's say they have some sort of a, you know, startup जो कि उनको लगता है कि जो कि government को help कर सकता है वगैरह. So how can people already employed in the IT sector contribute to the Digital Pakistan Foundation?
Great question, मुज़म्मिल. And देखें हमारा इस वक्त जो take off है ना Digital Pakistan Foundation का, वो थोड़ा it's under very different circumstances than what we initially planned, because we are in execution mode right now, helping wherever we can. So let me share about steady state में क्या plan था.
हाँ, I think that's better, because let's forget about कि corona की situation में क्या है, because वो तो इतना I think ad hoc है कि you know, we're just sort of daily के हिसाब से हम change कर रहे हैं.
Yeah. So inshallah, when things settle down, the plan is that there are going to be 3 different levels of engagement that you can do through the Digital Pakistan Foundation. Number 1 is full time, जो आप कुछ और नहीं करें, आप हर चीज इसे dedicate करें. उसमें you have to be very clear कि कोई आपके conflicts of interest नहीं है, कि you know, things you're trying to drive are not going to result in benefiting your own other businesses. Number 2 is contractual, as a consultant, where you're helping in specific areas. उसमें भी you have to be quite clear कि आपके कोई conflicts etc. नहीं है. But that's not full time, that's maybe part time. Right. And then number 3 is volunteer, where you know, especially if you're techies and you want to contribute to a specific area, You can volunteer. You'll inshallah be interviewed, and then if your skill set fits in a certain area, you'll be plugged into that gap. We are probably at least a few months away from this, to be very honest, because we have to scale up right now and we have to be focused on COVID-19. Uski problem solve kare, and then inshallah over time we're going to be developing this. Our website's under development. Us space is sab kafi information aa jayegi. And this is again, this is not an innovative, it's not a first time model. Huh? This has been done. India में भी I know Googlers जो इंडिया में आई स्पिरिट के साथ वॉलंटियर कर रहे थे, जो मैं पेमेंट सिस्टम की बात कर रहा हूँ इंडिया में, उसमें बहुत से गूगलर्स ने भी वॉलंटियर किया. But I think the important thing is कि आपका skill set matches with what is required. So I don't want to, I don't want to get everybody's hopes up. Everybody who wants to volunteer will find a time. We have to do things right, and therefore, there will be proper testing to figure out कि आप जो skills you bring to the table, you're actually going to be able to contribute to a certain project or not.
Got it. एक साहब का सवाल आया था, उन्होंने बड़े गुस्से से कहा कि मेरा सवाल कोई नहीं सुन रहा, so I'm just going to take that. He said, we're talking a lot about the supply side, so we're saying, आप ये skills ले लें और हम जो है ना किस तरीके से we get more and more people to be more digital centric and सारे सारे. But how do we work on the demand side of things as well? Because I do agree that Corona has sort of solved that problem for us, where the demand side is sort of certainly आसमान पे वो चली गई है. तो I think एक आंसर तो ये होगा कि demand side already बहुत ऊपर जा चुकी है. But उसी के साथ साथ अगर मैं कहूँ कि people who are right now managing all of this, what are their thoughts on building the demand side?
That's a fantastic question, जी. And देखिए इसमें सबसे पहले जो अगर आप लोगों से बात करें कि why are people not using it more? Trust is the biggest issue that people raise के इस वक्त we don't trust कि हम जो खरीदेंगे that's the same as what we want it to be. And उसमें it's about actually building a reputation, जी. So when you start out, whether you're the Raz, whether you're a smaller e-commerce player, or whether you're selling Peshawari chappals online, आपको पहले 10 जो हैं काफी मुश्किल होंगे बेचने के लिए. लेकिन जब आप पहले 10 की आप अच्छी क्वालिटी में you provide good customer service and you provide what you're supposed to, then the next 10, the next 100 are going to be much easier than the first 10, right? So I think this is one of the other things that people unfortunately they don't have enough patience to go down the route. This is the same with like YouTube stars and Instagram stars, right?
Yeah.
आप 3-4 साल लगाने होते हैं जी of building content, believing in yourself कि you're going to actually see that uptake. उस वक्त अगर आप रुक जाएंगे तो गेम खत्म हो जाता है. But if you keep going, then you get somewhere. So as long as you have faith in the product, ये बड़ी important चीज है जी. अगर आपका product average है, तो it doesn't matter कि आप online बेचें या offline बेचें, it's not going to get you anywhere. If you have a quality product, then the sales channel is irrelevant, and over time आप लगे रहेंगे, you will manage to sell it whether it's online or offline.
Perfect. We're going to take one last question before we end this session. Okay, let's try to dream a little. Pakistan में e-commerce को grow करने में कितने साल लगेंगे? As people prefer to buy hand, but if you were to dream, what we know is, for example, कि last year 100 billion rupees की e-commerce से buying हुई, so that's roughly like $1 billion or probably less than that. Pakistani retail market is $100 billion plus, so that's like 1%. So what do you think in the next 5 years? What's the growth pattern in your opinion?
I mean, honestly, for me, if we don't 20x it or 30x it in the next 5 years, then we are just doing an average job. Assuming that COVID-19 is like, it doesn't really completely flatten the growth trajectory of everything. And the other big assumption is we solve payments. हमने जो 3 हिस्सों की बात की जिससे online sales really take off, उसमें social commerce का हमारा piece है pretty much. It just needs to be activated. Logistics का piece is reasonably well done. We have lots of different players that we can use. But your digital payments का piece है ना, is something that I think now, especially जब उसको free कर दिया है, we have an opportunity to take off. then comes actually to me, if you believe it's going to happen, it will happen. Because the belief से quality लोग online आएंगे चीजें बेचने के लिए. जब तक belief नहीं होगा, you're going to get the दो numbers who are trying to basically make a quick buck and not really caring about customer experiences. So that that belief के ये होगा is the most important barometer of actually making it happen. So for me, like in 5 years, if we don't 20x this, then it's not exciting for me. And inshallah karenge.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Khurram. We're going to end this session. Thank you so much for joining us. और आपने जो सारी information share की. For the audience, we're going to be saving this session. It's going to be going to my YouTube channel, so you can find the link in the bio, and you can go and subscribe if you want to watch this later on. Khurram, any last words? Hello.
Muzammil, you're breaking up now suddenly, so I didn't hear any of that. But thank you very much for your time, and thank you so much. I really enjoyed your questions, and I hope जो मैंने share किया वो लोगों के लिए useful रहा. And inshallah, hope to see a lot of the people around over the next many years in Pakistan.